Good morning and welcome to Unity Church of Ames. Thank you, Brian. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you at home. I hope you're all well this morning. And will you please join me for our blessing affirmation? Abundant blessings flow to me and through me. I'm alive with creative energy, awake to prospering ideas, and open to unlimited goodness. Well, I'm happy to see you this morning on March 8th. I'm Susan Wolf, your platform assistant for today. And we will have Todd Davis as our guest speaker today, and he will be speaking on prospering spiritually in challenging times. And that they are, right? And it's still just us having to wake up and realize it's still my gig. I still have to show up and do this. So, prospering forward in the spiritual journey. Look forward to hearing what Todd has to share. Our chaplain for today will be Lynn Hedberg, and she will be holding our prayers in her prayer work this week. So if you have a prayer need, let Lynn know. For transformational opportunities, our season of gratitude, 21 days of gratitude program continues. And the packets are available for purchase in the Book Nook on Sundays and Wednesday afternoons. We've also reactivated the Facebook page, the gratitude page. So if you can, please stop by and leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Now, in Book Nook news, we have the March-April Daily Word available for purchase, as well as the March and April Unity Magazine is available for a 1-week loan. You can check that out in the Book Nook as well. The calendars are available for $3. The Lenten booklet is Release and Reimagine, and that's available for purchase for $3 in the Book Nook as well. And the Zoom class continues. So if you're involved in that or would like to be, please let Rep. Deb know if you're new and you'd like to join. Otherwise, they meet from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, and it's on the 12 Powers right now. Now, looking ahead, on March 11th, there will be a noon brown bag meeting to plan for the March 20th consignment sale. This is the annual sale that we do every year, and we have tables available. If you would like to reserve a table for $40, that gives you 3 days of sale activity plus 2 chairs. And we will have the walking taco buffet bar available on Saturday from 11 to 2, and also Sunday after church. Looking ahead on March 11th, I'm sorry, I already said that. March 11th, 6:30 to 7, there will be a pre-recorded meditation only, and you can find that online or on Facebook. March 14th to 13th, Rev. Deb is away on a trip with her sister to beautiful Sedona, and I've seen some pictures, and yeah, it's just as beautiful as it always was. So we're happy for her. And on the 15th, she'll be back and live in the sanctuary and live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And everything is green potluck. That's already been watered. Sorry. Just should have made that note earlier. But I'm glad that you're very perceptive. Okay. The potluck is on the 15th. It's after the service. So everything green. And not being a fan of green food myself, I would add anything Irish is okay. So you can go either direction with that. On the 18th, there will be another brown bag meeting about the sale, which begins on the 20th, and we will begin the setup on that day. On the 18th, also from 5 to 6, the chaplain meeting will be in the community room. So mark your calendars, everyone. March 22nd is the Great Lakes Region Rally Sunday, Region Rally Sunday. So we will collect an additional love offering as part of the region-wide program for the Dream Seed to support youth ages 12 to 18 and attend Great Lakes and retreats and rallies, and good cause. So make a check payable to the Great Lakes region with Dream Seed on the memo line. The daily Dream Seed rally will be March 22nd, and I can't read that or this. I'm sorry, even with my glasses on. But anyway, there'll be more information to come. The annual consignment sale will be March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Co-signers are needed. So remember, there's a great lunch that day. So yes. And so, yeah, clean out your corners at home, make space for new stuff or whatever you need space for. And a lot of the donations do go back to the church. So we are very grateful for this event. And please, now, if you will, join me for an opening prayer. Today's prayer comes from our Lenten booklet from Tuesday, March 10th, and it is I reimagine forgiveness. In no way did the great spiritual teacher, Jesus, act like a victim of circumstance. In social gatherings, he honored the least in his midst. Addressing prejudice, he taught and modeled personal sacrifice. Though abandoned by those closest to him, he still gave love and thoughtfulness. Misunderstood, threatened, criticized, abandoned. Yet all the while he was free with the freedom of spirit to demonstrate what forgiveness can be, giving unconditional expressions of love in the midst of adversity. I choose thoughts and actions that exemplify the giving of love and compassion today, for myself, for others, and relating to my past. Though I may feel bitter, heavy, angry, or ashamed, I know the power that is God lives as forgiveness in me, and I'm endowed with creative healing ideas that demonstrate love in any circumstance. My adversaries become my teachers, and my bitterness becomes my betterness. And from Romans 8:16 and 17, we are children of God, and if children, they're heirs, heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ. And please join me for the song. Please stand if you're willing and able for the reading song, Spirit Expressing.
I'm Spirit Expressing, and I'm glad to be here. I am Spirit Expressing every day of the year. I am Spirit Expressing. I'm a living work of art, made of love and light and music from the heart. You are Spirit Expressing, and I'm glad you are here. You are Spirit Expressing every day of the year. You are Spirit Expressing. You're a living work of art, made of love and light and music from the heart. We are Spirit Expressing, and we're glad to be here. We are Spirit Expressing every day of the year. We are Spirit Expressing. We're a living work of art, made of love and light and music from the heart.
Greetings, everyone. Good morning. Those of you at home, good morning. We love you. Glad you're here. Now let's share the Unity Worldwide Ministries Foundation statement. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotence, and also the Unity Church of Ames affirmation. Through the Christ Spirit in us, we create a better church and a better world. So be it. And our daily word for today is divine feminine. I bless the divine feminine in myself and in all others. Todd, would you mind reading this?
Sure.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
The divine feminine, today's daily word. I bless the divine feminine in myself and in others. Today is International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. A time to celebrate women's achievements. across societies and cultures. It is also a time to celebrate the divine feminine, which blesses all people. When I honor the divine feminine, I recognize God as love, compassion, and understanding, aspects that are present in everyone. The world is blessed by the contributions of those who embody the divine feminine in their words and actions, from the steeliness of protection to the softness of comfort and nurturance. I give thanks for the girls and women in my life as I lift up and celebrate the divine feminine in its many expressions. I affirm the divine feminine awakes and expands in my heart and blesses and prospers all life. And so the Bible quote today comes from the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 31, and it reads, "Give her a share in the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the city gates." And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Now it's time for our congregational song, Swing Wide the Doors. So stand if you're willing and able.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I am here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Now it's done, it's getting loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
You may be seated. And it's time to welcome our guest speaker for today. So please join me in welcoming Todd Davis with his talk on spiritually challenging times.
Good morning, my friends, and welcome to Unity Church of Ames. Yeah, how's it going, eh? Well, as Susan has stated, my name is Todd Davis, and I am Rev Deb's husband. Deb is currently with her sister on vacation, as Susan stated, in sunny Sedona, Arizona. I wish I were there, right? Well, anyway, Deb and I took our honeymoon there 100 years ago, and we actually went camping in just outside of Sedona in Oak Creek Canyon. and then also up on the south rim of the Grand Canyon too. It was wonderful. Loved camping back then anyway. So anyway, thank you all so very much for joining me, and it is an honor to be in front of you today. And it is fantastic to see your beautiful faces and spirits, both here and online. So, as in past talks, I've been stretched to come up with a topic to share with you. I was debating between prospering spiritually and living through these challenging times. Our very own Heather Withers and my dear wife, Rev Deb, mentioned combining both topics into one. And it's like, oh, swell idea, eh? Works for me. I would like to preface by saying that I believe, truly believe from the bottom of my heart, that there is a higher purpose for all this toxicity, chaos, and turmoil. As a collective conscious, I believe that we have been asleep for decades spiritually. The current situation in our country and around the world is forcing us to wake the heck up. All that is going on in the world today is challenging our beliefs that we may have held our entire lives. And unfortunately, it takes situations that affect all of us before we wake up. Buckle up. We are being pushed out of our comfort zones. The oligarchs have been in charge of our economy and our culture for a very long time, and it is getting worse at the current moment. But it needs to, so we can all see it, right? The grifting is now quite obvious, and we can no longer ignore it. It does not take an aerospace engineer, rocket scientist to see it. Whether it is activities in the epi files, the war with Iran, the passage of the big disastrous bill, which benefits the billionaires, certain individuals with vast wealth buying up all the media outlets so they can censor the news, and the administration cutting dozens of vital programs for our country, as well as lying to we the people on an hourly basis. And I haven't even mentioned that the frozen water people and DHS have never been about immigration. They really haven't. They have been all about ignoring the Constitution, terrorizing people, and cruelty, as well as creating a distraction from the epi files. Might as well cut to the chase, folks. I believe that as souls now, not our personalities, as souls, we chose to be here during this time to help the world and our collective consciousness to evolve. The good news is people are waking up. I would like to share some hope, however, that will come at the end of my talk. I'll share what I personally believe from my life experience, what spiritual prosperity is not. Let's start with the nots first, right? Okay. Using wealth as power and self-protection instead of empowerment, freedom, and independence. Two completely different energies there. Claiming in any way that if you're wealthy, then somehow God has rewarded you for being good, whatever the heck that means. Claiming in any way, shape, or form that you have been chosen to have wealth. This is the same as putting yourself on a pedestal. Repeating endless affirmations, using it as a magic potion, if you will. Treasure mapping for self-interest only. But I would like to share that doing a vision board is somewhat different in that the focus is more on your growth and spiritual goals. The intention is deeper. Spiritual prosperity is not minimizing or downplaying real challenges and obstacles. Oh, well, it's God's will. Spiritual prosperity is not about toxic positivity where you are not acknowledging that a situation causes much harm. It's not spiritual bypassing which is using simple techniques to, quote, fix your problems. I've tried this, believe me, and it does not work. By the way, there's a book called Spiritual Bypassing, when spirituality disconnects us from what really matters. And the author is by Robert Augustus Masters. If you're interested in reading it, it is a fantastic book. Also, spiritual prosperity is not numbing out and pretending that a situation does not matter. It's not denial that painful past incidents, especially from childhood, do not matter because, well, it's in the past and there's only the ever present now, which is true, but don't use that statement to mask what you may be feeling from the past. And while zeal is a unity power, overusing zeal or an obsession with a certain spirituality can hinder growth. And this is different than having a true passion for a certain spiritual practice. It's not claiming any type of spiritual superiority, holier than thou, over others, comparing. We are all on our own unique journey. There is no better or worse about it. As my stepdaughter Bridget would say, you do you. Love that. I would like to emphasize that there is nothing wrong with having money and living comfortably. It has more to do with our energy and intentions behind it. So, what is spiritual prosperity? Based on my lived life experience, this is what I'm sharing. A robust spiritual practice such as yoga, meditation, walks, doing artwork, journaling, or simply having a heart talk with a friend. It's prayer for seeing a larger picture and a spiritual sense of hope in the long run. And believe me, I do that all the time because I really want to see it. I want to see everything right now, right? I want to see the end story. Mindfulness, facing your fears and finding your own call to strength and power. Breaking your heart open to new understanding and awareness. Compassion and empathy. I could write a whole talk on each one of those. Spiritual prosperity is social justice and social action, such as boycotts, protests, and calling your representatives, even if you don't believe it makes a difference. And some days I still believe it doesn't make a difference, but the truth is it does. Spiritual prosperity is true, heartfelt forgiveness and self-forgiveness that heals us. And it's truly reclaiming our autonomy, individuality, and agency. You are not owned by a system or another person, period. It's choosing relationships where you are treated with genuine kindness, attention, and respect. No tolerance for narcissism, gaslighting, or minimizing. Again, I could write a whole topic. I could write a whole talk on this topic alone as well. I would like to read a passage from the book of Matthew. This is a part of the Sermon on the Mount by Jesus. Jesus was expanding on one of the commandments to thou shalt not kill. And it comes from Matthew chapter 5, verses 23 and 24. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go first, be reconciled with your brother and sister, then come back and offer your gift. The essence of this passage is that God values genuine relationships and a sincere heart more than outward religious practice. This makes me think of the unity power of discernment. Reconcile, make it right, forgive as needed. How we treat people is part of our worship. Practice what you preach. This is true spiritual prosperity. And as long as we're talking about the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus also stated these truths. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they may be called children of God. That is from Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. And love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. That's from Matthew chapter 5, verse 44. Jesus teaches non-retaliation. Turn the other cheek, and that comes from Matthew chapter 5, verse 39. And refuse the logic of sacred violence, which obviously is an oxymoron, right? And all who take the sword will perish by the sword. From Matthew chapter 26, verse 52. All of these passages seem straightforward to me. No further explanation needed. So moving forward, I'd like to share with you what has spiritually fed me since all this chaos began. Number one, listening to 2 songs right before going to bed each night. Examples include Things Can Only Get Better by Howard Jones. Howard Jones. Okay, I almost said Howard Cosell, but yes, Howard Jones. Hold Your Head Up by Argent. That's a good oldie. Joy to the World by Three Dog Night. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. That's a great 80s tune. Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. And one of my all-time favorites is Magic by Olivia Newton-John. Listen to it sometime. Another example of what I do is watching intuitive readers on YouTube with whom I resonate with and lift me up. I screen what I watch carefully to avoid false hope and nonsense. Something else I do is a powerful chakra meditation that I do about once a week, where I visualize the 7 colors covering my whole body, one after the other, starting with red and ending with purple and violet. It takes me about a half an hour. Remembering to take deep breaths on a consistent basis. Calmness. Walking twice a day, which I've always done. Remembering to eat well and to avoid overeating to mask my feelings. Keeping a sense of humor with Deb and with others. And keeping in touch with my family and friends. So now I would like to share a quote from, get this right, Todd, Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23. It reads, "May the God of peace himself, herself, themself, sanctify you entirely, and may your soul and spirit and body be kept sound." I'll read that again. May the God of peace, herself, himself, themself, sanctify you entirely, and may your spirit and soul and body be kept sound. Now, as a side note, I personally believe that Unity can do a better job of looking at the whole society instead of only focusing on ourselves. And I think Unity is moving in that direction with social action. However, don't forget that you are part of the larger picture. You make a difference. So the current structure and the powers that be want us to be scared. However, our duty and our obligation of we the people and as spiritual beings, which we all are, is to create the change that we want to see in our country. What do we want? Not only what do we don't want, what do we want? This journey belongs to us, not the oligarchs. Reclaim our power and speak truth to spiritual power. Having a strong visceral response to something horrible and depraved causes us to either retreat in fear or propels us into action. Let's choose the latter, eh? So let's go from scared to sacred. Starve your fear and feed your faith. As stated earlier, I'd like to share some of the good things that are happening in the US. This is not in any way to sugarcoat the toxicity, but to highlight that we, the people, have and will continue to make a huge difference. I'll start with saying, look at all the peaceful protests in Minnesota, especially the Twin Cities. They are refusing to give up. Bruce Springsteen has written a song called The Streets of Minneapolis. Another example are protests all over the country and world, protesting the frozen water people, especially in the past and up till now in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York City, and North Carolina, with school walkouts all over the country. The war, protesting not only that, but the war with Iran, and also we are attending No Kings rallies. By the way, the next No Kings protest is Saturday, March 28th. Put it on your calendars. Another example is millions of people lobbying to release the unredacted files. They will come out eventually. Believe me, count on it. Many already have, and more will. People are realizing that the tariffs and program cuts are causing the economy to sour. Hundreds of court decisions that rule in favor of we the people, we think that these do not matter, but they do. Individuals are questioning their own religion and spirituality. We are reassessing what we believe. Here's a good one. Look at all the special elections we've had. Need I say more? Many are realizing that the ruling class, the oligarchs, media barons, and tech bros have had way too much power for too long. Another example, more emphasis on kindness and helping our neighbors. Literally, especially people of color, indigenous people, immigrants, and the LGBTQ community. So there are many other specific examples that involve names that may put this video in YouTube timeout. Therefore, I will not mention them here. So, in closing, I'd like to share several quotes before we close today, 6 to be precise. Freedom is not a state, it is an act. Freedom is the continuous action we all must take, and each generation must do its part to create an even more fair, more just society. And that was John R. Lewis. John Lewis. Next one, conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. And that's by John F. Kennedy. Next one is, I believe we are here on planet Earth to live, grow up, and do what we can to make this world a better place for all people to enjoy freedom. That's Rosa Parks. Next one, joy is a freedom. It helps a person to find their own liberation. The person who is joyous takes responsibility for the time they take up and the space that she, he, or they occupy. You share it. Some of you have it. You share it. That's what joy is. When you continue to give it away, you still have so much more of it. And that's by Maya Angelou. Freedom is never given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. That's Martin Luther King Jr., and I actually read that same one in my talk last June. And the last one is, it is not enough to say, we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsions of war, but the positive affirmation of peace. And that's by Martin Luther King Jr. as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate it. It has been a pleasure. So now on to our centering in song. and our contemplation, integration, relaxation, meditation situation.
Love